Do you know it takes 21 days to change or adopt a new habit? In just 21 days, you can transform yourself. But are you up to this challenge? Habits are a significant part of our lives. They can make us or break us. This audiobook summary of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey will tell you about highly effective habits that will change your lifestyle and character. Stick to the end so you can take charge of your life. People are habitual beings. Our habits shape who we are and influence our actions invisibly. Everything we do is a result of our habits. Thus, training ourselves to do actions that effortlessly lead to the desired outcome is the finest method to accomplish any good goal. The most complex and crucial component is being prepared and willing to make long-lasting changes in your life. Sincere transformation starts on the inside. This concept is based on the idea that you may modify your behavior by learning particular abilities. Without further ado, let's dig deep into those 7 habits that highly effective and successful people have. Change begins. Systematically, to become effective, you must focus on 7 essential areas. It would be beneficial to change these habits systematically instead of changing everything. Focus on these first 7 steps and take accountability for the decisions you make in your life. Let's look at these 7 steps. 1. Take action rather than wait to react. 2. Consider the effects before moving forward with the project. 3. Plan your priorities into your calendar rather than your schedule first. 4. Look for shared advantages. 5. Before attempting to be heard, listen to others. 6. Collaborate with others to produce enormous outcomes. 7. Continue to operate an efficient system. After concentrating on these areas, you should investigate your paradigms. The lens through which we view the world is a paradigm. When 2 people gaze at a crowd, they perceive things differently. It is a result of the paradigm that they employ. When your perspective aligns with the fundamental ideas that the universe is built upon, our character is defined by the paradigms we hold. In business and relationships, paradigms may make all the difference between success and failure. When we challenge our ingrained attitudes and behaviors and progressively make changes, we experience a pattern shift. Stephen Covey, for instance, had a paradigm change one Sunday morning while riding in a comparatively quiet tube car. When a guy and his kids got inside, the car started to make noise. Remarkably, the father took no action to rein in his undisciplined children. The noise infuriated Stephen Covey so much that he requested that the parents watch his kids. They were leaving the hospital where their mother had passed away, the man stated. The kids were all upset, and he didn't want to take charge of them. Stephen Covey's response transformed his irritation and aggravation into compassion and a want to assist. That is the paradigm's power. Changes in paradigm are typically gradual. They encourage conscious effort to change our perspective and acquire traits generally accepted as kind. Be proactive, not reactive. Our proactive nature sets us apart from other animals who react to their surroundings. The way that different animals respond depends on their genetic makeup. They are unable to evaluate rewards. When something happens to a human, they can react instead of responding. Regretfully, only some use this human advantage, which we must learn to address. You are being proactive means accepting accountability for your deeds rather than placing the blame elsewhere. Reactive people let feelings and situations outside of themselves control their actions. For example, when you call a cab, you blame someone else, and they get in first. Reactive individuals also don't accept accountability when things don't go according to plan. Proactive people take into account the complexity of their reactions and mood. They believe that their outer world is a reflection of their inner world. They go by 2 rules in life. One is the circle of concern, which is the things they cannot change, such as paying taxes or bills or earning money. The second is a circle of influence, which consists of the things they can change, such as themselves. When proactive people follow these rules, they are much more likely to be successful as they are not wasting their time, unlike reactive people who spend most of their time blaming others. You can be proactive for 30 days and see the magic yourself. Visualize it so you can manifest it. We perform tasks twice. A concept originates in our imaginations and is carried out in reality. Before starting construction, we draft a plan outlining the number of rooms, size, arrangement, and other specifics. You will likely make blunders if you construct a building without meticulous planning. To succeed, you must define success and then put it into practice. Any critical task must be executed flawlessly, and this requires careful planning. Give yourself enough time to visualize, write down your ultimate objectives, and list the measures you would take to achieve them. Examine the conclusion before you start. Prepare ahead of time for potential roadblocks and their answers. Ask for directions often so you won't get lost. No one who is productive just accomplishes goals at random. They lead purposeful lives because they can see the broad picture and direct their efforts towards the real issue. Write about your mission to articulate your objectives and tenets. It is a written statement of your core beliefs and ideals. Your mission statement will direct your actions. Since your mission statement will serve as the cornerstone of your life, it should be carefully considered and not rushed through. Priorities. Before desires, our attention is being pulled in many different directions. If you don't exercise caution, you will often sacrifice crucial things for things that demand our immediate attention. Many of us use time management techniques that force us to prioritize our current schedules. Rather than fostering efficacy, this method encourages efficiency. All of your actions are divided into 4 categories based on their significance and urgency. Important and urgent items. Important but non-urgent matters. Things that are urgent but not crucial. Things that aren't urgent or crucial. As we move along this path, we'll discover that there will be fewer critical matters in our lives. But first, we must determine which activities fit into this group. We then learn to set aside time for them purposefully. Our connectivity is made evident through our interactions with other individuals. We usually strive to get the upper hand when interacting with others. We believe that for us to succeed, someone else must fail. Yet this is terrible reasoning, as 2 parties that pursue win-lose strategies may wind up with lose-lose results. Generally speaking, there is enough to meet everyone's needs, but not greed. Thinking win-win helps us build wholesome connections that will pay off greatly in the long run. So, focus on fulfilling your priorities rather than your desires. Schedule and write the things down so you don't deviate from the tasks. Also, have a positive mindset rather than a negative one. Build good connections and relationships. In our relationships with others, the currencies we spend are goodwill, time, and effort. Our emotional deposit increases with the number of these we contribute. We withdraw every time we cause harm to another person. A positive balance indicates a healthy connection, and vice versa. Preventing possible issues is the best way to address them. While working to repair the relationship, we must be mindful of the words and deeds we say to others to avoid emotionally investing in any particular relationship. Things you can practice to build good emotional connections are these. Empathy, good listening skills, and personal integrity are the antithesis of gossiping. Being prepared to stand up for someone when they're not there will increase your value, as they will find you polite and caring. Making room for others and participating in people's lives is a straightforward approach to building wholesome bonds with others. Individuals with more significant emotional reserves own up to their errors and extend an apology. So take accountability for your actions. If the doctor gave us medications without really listening to us, how would we feel? We would consider their advice to be suspect. But with others around us, we do it all the time. We listen to respond, rarely to understand. We forecast our conditions. So, to be successful, learn to listen more than you speak. Be respectful at all costs. 1 + 1 needs to be more significant than 2. Having different perspectives and inclinations makes achieving synergy challenging, if not impossible. But what if we were prepared to acknowledge our uniqueness and accept our differences? Then, it could harness the power of synergy. We don't need to share the same viewpoints or advantages and disadvantages. The subsequent habits, accepting accountability, listening to people to understand them, appreciating their contributions, and using them to solve a shared issue to create synergy are all built upon the preceding ones. Following World War II, David Lilienthal was appointed director of the Atomic Energy Commission. He assembled a group of the nation's brightest thinkers and instructed them to spend the initial weeks getting to know one another. Although this earned him a lot of criticism, he intended to foster trust. Thanks to this activity, excellent outcomes were made in a healthy work atmosphere. Each member of the group respected the others and worked out their differences. Their respect evolved into understanding after they had spent time getting to know each other as individuals. Consequently, the combined expertise produced efficient results. This communication technique is reasonably priced and can be used in any group environment. Its polite dialogue is what makes it beautiful. Having an open mind is crucial to creating synergy. We can discover it in our interactions with those we don't get along with when we mix self-assurance, receptivity, and an impartial analysis of their points of view. So, before making assumptions about someone, practice accepting that this world isn't filled with like-minded people. Work on yourself. The most valuable resource we have ever had in our life is ourselves. We are allowed to react and alter to external events because we are the only ones we have to promise ourselves. The asset will increase in value if we remain aware of everything around us. The only deposit that generates profit independent of social or economic circumstances is an investment in oneself. To accomplish this, we must take care of our bodily, emotional, and spiritual needs. We need to give ourselves time to recover and continue being effective. It is comparable to honing a saw. Loggers must take the time to sharpen their saws to maintain their effectiveness while cutting down trees. This is an investment that pays off in the long run. The woodcutter who needs to hone their blade will only cut down the trees as the others. Be mindful of what you eat and put in your body, as your body is a temple. Take care of your spiritual, emotional, and social needs by meditation, avoiding things that dilute your pure soul, and hanging around with positive people. We are not telling you to isolate yourself, but to evaluate and analyze yourself to make better decisions for a better tomorrow. Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is a cheat code for people who want to succeed. It teaches you how to change your habits and encourages you to make behavioral and character changes. Once you start practicing all the points mentioned here, your life will drastically change and effortlessly manifest your dream life.